Hi, Jeff Munn, Creating Extraordinary Futures, and I want to tell you a story, and I got to admit it's a little edgy for me. I'm still kind of processing it, but it seems to me in this moment to be really true, and I just wanted to make sure I recorded something to share this experience that I had. So I was in the process of talking with a potential new client. We were seeing some possibilities together, seeing some things that we could create for him and for his company. It was a great conversation. And I made a proposal. It was for a decent chunk of change. And he said, yeah, that's more money than I expected. And I want to do this, but I just need to kind of settle with it. And a week went by, and we got on the phone again, and he said, look, I've thought about it, and I just can't make this work. Maybe we can look at it again in a few months. And, we talked a little bit, and I said, well, let's talk one more time. So we set up another call. And I got off the Zoom with him, and I just, I started thinking about it. What was it that was getting in the way for him? Because I could see it was the right thing to do. I think he could see that it was the right thing to do. And I literally woke up in the middle of the night thinking about it. And then it just hit me. It's like, oh, he's expecting this to look reasonable. And it is the most unreasonable thing you can possibly do. So what do I mean by that? I think when you're hiring a coach that works with people the way I do, it's really about coming from a different place, leading from a different place, being a different person, and seeing those opportunities that are available to you to reclaim your power. To one of the issues that we talked about with him was, how do I get my leaders to behave when I'm not in the room? And we talked about this notion of like, well, who can you be such that even when you're not there, they know exactly what you want and exactly how to behave and treat each other. That's not a rational thing. That's something you just instinctively see and know and step into. And when what he was doing was, okay, if we're going to work together, then we need to have a plan, and it needs to look this way, and I need to make sure I'm going to get this ROI out of it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to justify the expense in advance. And there's just no way to know. You can know that what we're going to enter into together is life-changing, but you can't know exactly how your life is going to change. That's just part of the deal. Part of what, I can't predict, and you can't predict what insights you're going to have. What I can predict is that your life is going to change. So that's a tricky, edgy thing. To say that I'm going to give up the life that I had that has gotten me to this point. Sometimes people don't want to do that. A lot of times they don't. And the point is that when you get to a particular point, your personality, your way of being, your habits, your way of showing up has brought you to this point and is preventing you from getting to the next place. You have to die and be reborn as a new leader in order to take the next step. And that's a giving up, that's a letting go, and it's really hard to do on your own. So now, and this is what feels so edgy to me, is to say that hiring me is the most unreasonable thing you can possibly do, but it feels really true. You know, after we've been in conversation, whether you're not you want to do this. I said to him at one point, I said, so it seems to me like you really want to do this and you're scared. And he said, yeah, I think that's about right. And I said, you can do things when you're scared. So this idea that we can kind of calm ourselves down enough to take the leap of faith, it's like you just got to take the leap of faith. So if that resonates with you, if you want to explore how you can show up differently to get a sense of what that looks like, what that feels like, let's have a conversation. I am happy to spend 30 minutes to an hour with you creating change. Creating change. It may end up that we work together. It may not. But I am happy to spend that time with you to begin to create your next thing. Take care, and I'll see you next time. So I just watched the video that I just created, the one you just watched. And I realized I need to add a postscript. He signed. So that idea that, yeah, this is unreasonable, and it's exactly what I want, and I can try to make it work on a spreadsheet, I can try to justify it in my intellect, it will never happen. You have, a heart and gut that knows what it wants. And the only thing the brain and your intellect can do is get in the way. Notice that for yourself. It's a realization that I had for a while ago that I just thought, oh my gosh, how many things have I kept myself from doing that I really wanted because I couldn't reduce them down to compelling data. So I wanted to share that happy ending. We are starting work in the next week or two. We're going to create for a year together. I would love to create something with you if that's something that resonates for you. Thanks.